All right, Ash, thanks very much. Hillary could be indicted. The FBI may say she should be indicted. And here's the question. Will the president allow that to go forward? Will the president allow an indictment of Hillary Clinton? And what happens if he says no? Judge Napolitano is here. Let's go through this scenario.
Sure.
The FBI recommends prosecution, an indictment, I should say. It goes to the Justice Department. The Justice Department goes to the president and says, what are we going to do? The president says, oh, we're not going to indict. Does James Comey resign at the FBI?
Well, James Comey has demonstrated in the past the type of independence and intellectual honesty which would make a resignation or the offer of a resignation unsurprising and even expected. In fact, in the very public announcement that the president made when he nominated now Director Comey to his position as the head of the FBI, he commented on a now well-known historical event during the Bush administration when then Associate Attorney General Comey threatened to resign if the Bush administration pressed a sedated, because he was in the hospital, Attorney General Ashcroft to sign off on a program which was blatantly unconstitutional. Mr. Comey's threat was taken seriously by the president, and President Bush backed down. A couple days later, President Bush said to Jim Comey, were you serious about that? He said, not only was I serious, there were about 25 or 30 folks who were going to come with me.
So the test has already been put in place.
Yes, and President Obama recognized this publicly about Jim Comey when he nominated him to run the FBI. So fast forward to today. The evidence of Mrs. Clinton's failure to safeguard state secrets is well documented and ample. I said this earlier, I'll say it again. If her name were still Hillary Rodham, if she were not Hillary Rodham Clinton, that is, if she was anybody other than who she is, she would have been indicted by now. I think it's clear that there's a consensus amongst FBI agents to recommend indictment. The decision is then Loretta Lynch's, who's the Attorney General. Because Mrs. Clinton is who she is, and her husband is who he is, and Mrs. Clinton is where she is in the Democratic race for the nomination for president, the decision will be the president's. My view is, if the Justice Department or the president says no to the indictment, you will see resignations and leaks that will produce the moral equivalent of a Saturday night massacre visited upon President Nixon when he fired the Watergate prosecutor. And that will have as devastating a blow to her political career as would an indictment.
So you're saying that there will be a devastating effect on Hillary Clinton regardless?
Yes. The evidence of her, the evidence available to prosecute her is overwhelming, is more than is necessary to achieve a proof of guilt.
You know that for a fact?
Public documents.
You've seen it?
Yes. Well, I haven't seen this SAP. This is so secretive that even the FBI agents investigating her lack the security clearance to read.
And that SAP material was on her private server?
Yes.
Totally illegal?
Yes.
Can't do that?
Absolutely. Even if you inadvertently put it there, it's a crime. Even if you forget it's there, it's a crime. The duty to preserve those secrets is absolute, without exception.
Okay.
When she says, I'm digitally inept, that's actually an admission of guilt, because ineptness is the type of negligence that forms the basis for the prosecution.
As you write today in the Washington Times, the biggest threat to Hillary Clinton is the FBI, correct?
A bigger threat than Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, indeed.
He's a threat.
Yeah.
But what keeps her up at night is the FBI.
Judge Napolitano, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.